Hey everyone, Mary Pat here, and today I'm going to be making a card, and I'm going to be using these paper smooches stamps. I want that turtle, and I've got the little die cuts, and I've got the sketch for this week's retro sketches, and I just love that. And then I'm going to be using some scraps from a layout that I made earlier in the week, and so I've got my core cardstock, and it's the vintage collection. And then I've got these scraps from Lily Bee, and I'm going to use each side of that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp my turtle using the Memento ink on my Coordinations 110-pound smooth cardstock. You can see here that I save even the smallest scrap because I love it so much, and because sometimes you just need a little corner like that to do that. I'm going to put that off to the side and let the ink dry, and I'm going to start building the base of my card. So I'm cutting my black cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that will be my base. So with the sketch, you have the base, and then you have the banner coming down, and then the rectangular piece. So I'm going to use the chevron side and use that as my banner, and I'm going to cut this strip and to a 1/2 inch, 1 1/2 inch wide. And you can see here that I'm not an exact person. I just kind of eyeball it, and to make that banner, I just kind of fold that over and pinch it where I think I want it to go, and then I just snip it off, and there I have my banner. And then next I'm just finding a piece of the scrap that that would fit right in there. And again, I don't do exact dimensions there, so I'm putting that right about in the middle, and that looks great together. I like the little hearts. This is going to be a birthday card, and for a little girl, so I like the pink. Now I'm just going to cut a piece of this red and get a speech bubble using my silhouette. And now I'm sanding it using my Coordination Sand Gadget, just to kind of rough it up and expose some of the pink in the core there. And now I'm wiping off all the sanding and with my Dust Buddy and getting it ready to stamp. So when I'm going to stamp, I'm going to put a piece of washi tape that will easily come off, and so it keeps it steady for, I want to place my, my stamps there. And I'm lining them up, and it says they're going to say happy birthday, and then I just put my acrylic block right there, and then they're perfect where I want them to go. So I'm going to ink them up using my Hero Arts dye ink, my favorites, and then place that right on there. Now, in the sentiment birthday, because it's the cardstock, some of the letters it came out, but it's just a little light. So what I learned is I have this fine tip black marker, and I'm just going to color in just a pinch to where so that it's just a pinch darker, and there it is. And then the washi tape comes right off, and it looks great. Now I'm going to sand the base of my card again, just around the edges to expose like the whitish gray underneath, because there's a whitish gray line going through that cardstock from Lily Bee, so that the pieces all match and kind of go together. And so now I'm just going to kind of start gluing down my parts to the card. So I like to always build my card base and get that going, and then I can just simply add my final touches. So that looks good, and I've got my sentiment that will go right there. So now coming back to my turtle here, I'm going to start coloring it with my Spectrum Noir markers, and this is CG2. And I'm going in, and I'm going to color the body of this cute little turtle, all with this color. And now his legs, and again, we're still using the same color. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to go to DG 3, and I'm just going to add some shading and kind of going around the edges of the turtle a little bit here. And then around in his body. And just going around the edges. And it kind of will look like that when you have it all. Now, it's not done, though. So now I need to go back with my color, my CG2, and I'm going right up against the line and pulling that color out to get it to where the ink is all dissolving, and so that you have some awesome shading going on. And I'm doing that again on the legs. And there you have it. So now I need to work on the shell of the turtle. And again, I'm going to use the same colors for part of it. And again, I'm going with my lightest shade, and that is CG2, and coloring that in. Now this time, I'm going to take my DG3, and I am going to kind of flick the color. And you can see I'm just kind of pressing down quickly and flicking it out. And flicking it on the other side. I always rotate. And then I'm taking my light color again, and I'm just kind of spreading the color out in between the two so that I kind of have a little lighter in the center there. Now I'm going in with TN5 and TN7. So I'm starting with my lightest color, and I'm going to do 2 of the shells, because he's going to have kind of like a brown shell in there, and then just adding a pinch of the TN7. And now I'm going to go work on the little square there. And again, that's TN5. And again, I'm going to flick some color out, and then flick on that side with the TN7, and then just kind of blend it together. Now, for the final little square, I'm going back with my CG2 and coloring that in. And again, I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to take my DG3, and I'm going to flick the color. And then color that and blend it together. And that looks great. Now there's this small little side of the shell right there that's still there. And I'm going to color that in with my TN5 and color that strip in. And then take my TN7 and just add a little bit. And then I've got his kind of like toenails. And I've got my IG4 and my IG6. So I did my lightest color, and now adding a little bit of the darker color on that. And then he's done. So now I just have to line up my die around him, and I put some washi tape to secure that, and cut it out, and that's what he looks like, all perfect. And I'm going to put him on the card and kind of line it up. And I'm going to pop dot them on, kind of in this on the side there, and then pop dot my happy birthday. And then if you know me, I always like to add some gems, and so I've got these Doodlebug, and so I'm just going to add 3 around there. So I have a large one, and then a medium, and then the smallest. And I like that. So now I just have to attach it to my base, and then I'm done. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and feel free to stop at my blog with sealedwithakiss.com. And thanks so much. See ya. Bye.